Welcome all of you to the online class of biology once again. We started chapter 9 biomolecules and I have already explained you about amino acids, isn't it? So amino acids are, I told you already, they are building blocks of proteins. Okay, and I told you that they are substituted methane and they can exist as sweeter ions. Okay, sweeter ions means charged ions, both positive and negative charges they can carry. Understood? So in solutions, okay, they can exist as what? Sweeter ionic form. So next I am going to teach you about the proteins. Okay, I am leaving this topics, lipids and all. I will be teaching that later. So let's study first proteins. Okay, proteins we will study. Protein is an example of a macromolecule. Okay, macromolecules means what? Their molecular weight is high. Okay, and they are polypeptides. Peptides, poly means what? Many. Peptides means it's a bond. Okay, peptide bond which is existing between amino acids. Okay, so I told already the amino acids are made up of, the proteins are made up of amino acids. These amino acids are joined by which bonds? Peptide bond. Okay, so that you have to study, which is the bond that is existing between bond bond. Okay, existing between the amino acids peptide bonds. Okay, and proteins are polymer of amino acids, I told already, and as there are 21 types of amino acids that make up the proteins. Okay, do you remember some examples of amino acids? Alanine, cysteine, glycine, isn't it? Tryptophan, all these were examples of amino acids, isn't it? Depends upon the what the group present in R. Okay, and as there are 21 various amino acids, I told already, like 26 alphabets in English, okay, that can make a number of what? Words. So in the same way, with this 21 amino acids in different combinations, they make what? The proteins. Clear? So protein is a heteropolymer. Heteropolymer means what? They are made up of more than one kind of monomer. Okay, there are different kinds of monomer. Monomer means what? The units which are making up the polymer is called what? Monomer. Understood? So as there are different types of monomers or different 21 types of amino acids, protein is an example for a heteropolymer. Okay, and it is not a homopolymer. Okay, and then, so what is homopolymer? They will have only one kind of monomers. Okay, and they will be repeating many times. Understood? And the amino acids, okay, can be divided into two different types, that are essential and non-essential. Okay, essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. So essential amino acids are those, okay, which we get through our diets. Okay, dietary proteins will be the source of this kind of amino acids, and we cannot make this in our body. We cannot make it. Okay, so in each cells, I have told you, each cell is a factory. Many kinds of chemical reactions are taking place continuously. So in that, some of the amino acids our cells or our body can make. Okay, and some amino acids cannot be made in our body, and these are known as what? Essential amino acids, which we get through our dietary proteins when we take something. Okay, when we take the diet through that. And the non-essential means what? These are not necessary that it should come from the diet. We can make in our body. Our body can make it by different metabolic reactions. Is it clear? Then what is the function of proteins? Proteins form the structural structural part, isn't it? If we see the structure of the body, if we see, it's made up of cells. Cells are made up of what? Plasma membrane, organelles, isn't it? Plasma membrane structure, if you take, you can see that a number of proteins are also there. Do you remember integral proteins, peripheral proteins? So it forms a structural part, isn't it? Then any other functions are they doing? They fight against infectious organisms, isn't it? Antibodies. What are antibodies? Antibodies are actually proteins only, isn't it? So proteins are doing that functions. Then some are hormones. Proteinaceous hormones are also there. For example, insulin. Okay, insulin is an example for a proteinaceous hormone, means that is made up of, or that structurally they are proteins. Okay, and many are enzymes. Enzymes are proteins with or without non-protein part. So enzymes, just imagine one case. If you take for example respiration, if respiration process has to be done, number of enzymes should involve in that. Okay, so that much importance is there for what protein in our body. Okay, and in animals, the protein which is the most abundant is collagen. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the animal world. And in case of plants, you can find that is it is ribulose, biphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase. This we will study when we study the respiration chapter. Okay, RUBP. Okay, what carboxylase. Okay, or simply you study Rubisco. What is the full form of it? Ribulose, biphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase. Okay, they do both the reaction, carboxylation and oxygenation. That's what carboxylase, oxygenase. What they are doing, on which substrate they are doing this? Ribulose biphosphate. Okay, ribulose biphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase, or simply you can say it as what? Rubisco is the most abundant protein in the plant kingdom, or in the what most abundant protein in the world of biosphere. Okay, means in animals, if you take, that is collagen, and RUBP carboxylase or oxygenase is the enzyme in plants, and that will be the abundant protein all over the, means when we compare plant and, or when we add plant and animal kingdom. Is it clear? Children, I am going to teach the next part, that is structure of protein. I am leaving this part now. I will teach it later. Okay. So you can see that what the structure of proteins. Proteins, I told, they are made up of they are made up of amino acids, and they are heteropolymers. Okay, and you can see that their structure can be studied in different levels. Okay, so before that, let me teach you the bond, BOND, bond between the amino acids. Okay, the amino acids in a polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain means what? Amino acids joined to form a long chain. Okay, just like the beads, when you are adding the beads, it will be making a chain, isn't it? Bead chains are there which is made up of beads, isn't it? So when you add one by one, what it will form? A long chain. Likewise, when amino acids are joined by which bond? Peptide bond. Okay, so the bond between two amino acids in a polypeptide chain is what? Peptide bond. CONH bond. Okay, understood? So how it is forming? As I told you, each amino acid will have what? A COH group and one amino group, isn't it? Each amino acid will have a COH group and NH group. Understood? Now what will happen when these two amino acids are joined? A reaction will take place between the COH group, okay, and the NH group. COH group of one amino acid and NH2 group of another amino acid. Okay, and one molecule of water moiety will be eliminated, and they form a bond known as what? CONH bond. Is it clear? So you can see that between two amino acids, if this is amino acid 1 and if this is amino acid 2, do you remember each amino acid will have a COH group, okay, one NH2 group, and likewise this amino acid is also having one NH2 group and one COH group. Okay, so NH2 group I can write like this now, NHH. Okay, and one what? Carboxylic acid group of one amino acid and the NH2 group of another amino acid. they combine, okay, and one molecule of water will be eliminated. Okay, how water will be eliminated? Between these two, reaction will take place. NH2 group of one amino acid and COH group of another amino acid. Okay, in between them reaction takes place and one molecule of H2O, water, will be removed, and then what will happen? That will result in the formation of CONH bond, isn't it? CONH bond. Understood? So this is known as what? Peptide bond. So in between two amino acids, what is there? CONH, that is peptide bond is present. So if you study the structure of proteins, we can study that in 4 different levels as biologists. Okay, so they are the primary structure, okay, then secondary structure, tertiary and quaternary. Okay, so these are the, in this 4 different levels we can learn the structure of proteins. Okay, so let me explain each one of that. You listen carefully. Okay, so the first is what? The primary structure. Okay, so primary structure of a protein. So the primary structure of a protein explains what is the sequence of amino acid. Okay, proteins are highly folded structures. Understood? They are folded in in different ways. If you take a thread, okay, that thread maybe means if you compare that thread into a polypeptide chain, okay, just imagine a thread which is a polypeptide chain. So primary structure explains the position and the sequence of amino acids in the in the polypeptide chain. Which amino acid comes first, then second. So what is their arrangement? Understood? How many amino acids are there in that particular polypeptide chain? All this will be explained by the primary structure. Okay, so if you take a protein as a line, you can see that the left end will be having the first amino acid and the right end will have the last amino. The last right side will have the last amino acid. The first amino acid is called the N-terminal amino acid and the last one is known as C-terminal amino acid. Is it clear? Just imagine a line. Understood? Imagine our polypeptide chain as a line. So the one which is found in the which side? The left side will be the first amino acid and the last one will be the in the right side, that will be the last amino acid. Understood? And the first one which is in the left side is known as what? The N-terminal, and the last one is known as C-terminal amino acid. Okay, and you can see that what polypeptide chain, they won't be just like a thread all over our body. They means if their shape is concerned, they are highly folded. Okay, so sometimes you can see the threads will be folded in the form of a helix. Okay, have you seen the revolving stairs? If you want to climb up the stairs, you have to go around the stairs. Okay, like the that helix you would have seen in some buildings and all. Okay, from one side you will start and you will be rotating around that, and then again like that in a revolving manner you have to climb up the stair. Understood? So in that way what sometimes the protein threads, polypeptide chain threads, okay, they form folding or they form the helix. Okay, and this folding and some other parts of the proteins they'll be arranged in the form of certain helix. So this folding of the polypeptide chain in its own axis, okay, how they are arranged, some form helix, some form zigzag arrangement. So how that polypeptide chain is arranged in a protein means that particular chain, okay, how they are arranged, on that basis that is known as secondary structure, or the secondary structure explains what two-dimensional arrangement of a polypeptide chain. Understood? First primary structure, what it explains? It explains the number, the sequence, the position of amino acid in a polypeptide chain. Secondary structure, what it explains? The two-dimensional arrangement of polypeptide. How the polypeptide chain is present in the in the protein. Okay, whether they are arranged in the form of a helix or in the form of a zigzag manner. Okay, so that will be explained in the secondary structure. Okay, you can see here a polypeptide chain is arranged in the form of a helix here. Have you seen here the first one? Okay, in the form of helix it is arranged. Understood? So this is explained by the secondary structure. Now tertiary structure explains three-dimensional view of a protein. Okay, each polypeptide chain, even though they are arranged in the form of a helix, how they are arranged in the three-dimensional way. Okay, have you just imagine a a woolen thread, okay, which is used, thread you use now for making the sweater and all. How you will be getting, or thread rolls you will get now for tailoring purpose. How they are arranged? Okay, so or you imagine a woolen thread. Understood? So just imagine each that thread is made up of a number of amino acids. Okay, and that amino acids, that polypeptide chain is having a helix in its own axis. Then they will be arranged in the around that central thing, in the form of a ball, isn't it? So that three-dimensional arrangement of polypeptide chain is explained by tertiary structure. And now what is that? Quaternary structure. Quaternary structure means it is explaining the structure of proteins which are having more than one polypeptide or subunits. Okay, some proteins, listen carefully, most of the proteins are made up of a single polypeptide chain only. They are folded in different shades. But there are certain proteins which are made up of more than two polypeptide chain. Okay, for example, human hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin is having 4 subunits. Okay, and 2 of them are identical to each other and the other 2 are same. Understood? So 2 subunits of alpha type and 2 subunits of beta type, okay, together will be forming the human hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, heme is the the iron containing part, okay, and the globin is the protein part, and it is made up of 4 different subunits. So it's an example for polypeptide having what more than more than 2 subunits. Okay, so this one quaternary structure explains what? Quaternary structure explains the manner in which the individual polypeptides are folded, or the arrangement of 2 different polypeptide chains if it is there, okay, in a protein. Is it clear? Understood? So these are what structure of proteins. So once again I will repeat, the structure of proteins can be studied in different levels. Okay, so primary structure is explaining what? The the number and the position of amino acid, sequence of amino acids. So you can see here, see in one polypeptide chain, you can see that tyrosine, cysteine, serine, glutamic acid, likewise many amino acids, they are joined by CONH group peptide bond, and they form a linear chain. And secondary structure explains what? Its arrangement in the 2-dimensional way. Okay, how this for each polypeptide chain is arranged in the 2-dimensional way. Then tertiary structure explains what? In 3D level, how they are forming their shape in the space. Okay, how this each polypeptide chain again folds, okay, and form a 3-dimensional structure. So that is explained by tertiary structure. And quaternary structure explains what? The arrangement of different subunits if it is there in a polypeptide chain. Is it clear? So these are what? Different levels in which the structure of proteins are studied. So I have taught you about proteins today, isn't it? Proteins are polymers of what? Amino acids. Which is the bond between the amino acids? CONH bond. Okay, peptide bond. And how they are forming? By the reaction of one NH2 group of one amino acid and COH group of another amino acid. One molecule of water will be eliminated, and that results in the formation of what? CONH bond. Is it clear? Then I have told you about what the structure of proteins. The structure of proteins can be studied in 4 different levels, I told. Isn't it? They are primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Okay, so this you can study this in this sequence, because in the textbook a little bit difference is there. So if you study in this detail, in this order, it will be easy for you to study. Okay, amino acids and then proteins. Is it clear? So only I taught you like this. So you definitely study the chapter after watching the video. You have to go through the textbook thoroughly. Then only you will understand. Otherwise, it will be little bit difficult later. Okay. Thank you.